Do you like to raise succulent plants? The students who have raised succulent plants must know this, and they often see such small bugs on succulent plants. The bugs neither respond nor move. This is the famous scale insect. The bug is seen everywhere, and the citrus cannot escape its hazard. For example, on the surface of citrus fruits, we often see such things. The above tiny sesame-like bugs are a kind of scale insect, Unaspis yanonensis. Today, we will learn about citrus scale insects. Scale insects are distributed in all citrus-producing areas in the country, especially the red wax scale, Pardotoria, Ziziphus, Unaspis yanonensis, Kuana, and Escherichia pochasi masco have the most serious hazard. They have a wide variety, fast reproduction, serious overlapping of generations, and great harm. The imagos of scale insects are very different, which are a typical male-female dimorphism. The male imagos have an obvious head-thoracic abdominal boundary, while the female imagos have no obvious boundary. The mouth parts of the male imagos are degenerated or incomplete. The mouth parts of the female imagos are developed, and the feet and wings are degenerated. Let's take a look at the common scale insects. Red wax scale. Female imagos with uplifting backs. The dark red to purplish red waxy cover outside the worm looks like a red bean. Unaspis yanonensis, Kuana. The female imagos are arrowhead-shaped, often slightly curved, 2 to 4 millimeters long, tan to dark brown, with off-white margins. Pardotoria ziziphus, subrectangular, painted black, with grayish, white thin wax flakes attached to the trailing edge. Escherichia pochasi masco. The female imagos are 6 to 7 millimeters long, with an orange-yellow body, and a raised back, covered with light yellowish, white waxy substances. There are more than 10 small tumor-like protrusions around the abdomen, and it secretes waxy powder covering the body, so it is difficult to see its true face. Female imagos of scale insects often gather on branches, leaves, and fruits, and suck plant sap for living. In severe cases, they will cause withering of branches and even death of the whole plant. In addition, while harming citrus, some of them also discharge a large amount of honeydew, resulting in fuliginous disease, which makes the leaves unable to photosynthesize. And the fruits often have poor fruit taste due to insufficient supply of organic matters. Have poor fruit taste. For severely harmed plants, the tree vigor declines, and finally the whole plant dies. The common characteristic of scale is that they are small in size and soft. Some of you must ask, "Teacher, the scale insects I see are not soft." Yes, it is not soft, because the scale in the older nymph and adult stages is covered with a thick layer of waxy scale, which is formed by its own waxy secretion. Most insects can walk and fly, but scales are mostly fixed in one place. Think about it. If scales cannot move freely and are not protected by the scale, they will be destroyed by natural enemies or pesticides. Therefore, it can be seen how important this scale is to them. However, this layer of scale is difficult to handle because once scales are formed, it will be difficult for pesticides to penetrate this layer of protection and reach the insect wall. Obviously, pesticides with contact killing effect have no advantage at all. If simple chemical pesticides are used for control, the effect will be unsatisfactory, which will also lead to enhanced drug resistance, reduce the number of natural enemies, and pollution to fruits and the environment. Therefore, integrated control shall also be adopted for scale control. In mid-April, plant some crops such as perilla and soybean in the citrus orchard, which can transfer the damage of scale to citrus and provide food, habitat, and breeding places for natural enemies of scales, thus to significantly reduce the hazard of scale. From November to December, after citrus harvest, scrape off the overwintering insects on the branches. Cut off the branches and leaves seriously harmed by diseases and pests. Remove the dead branches, fallen leaves, lichen moss, and weeds in the citrus orchard. Burn them in a centralized manner, and clear the soil of the orchard to dry and freeze the overwintering insects in the soil. The best time for chemical control shall be seized. The first period is from April to May. The full incidence period of scale is the spring shooting and anthesis of citrus. Therefore, when the spring shoots grow to about 2 millimeters, chemical pesticides shall be sprayed once in time. The second period is from June to July. Summer shooting and physiological fruit drop period. This is the second physiological fruit drop peak of citrus to the growth period of young fruits. And it is also the end of the plum rain season and before the summer drought. The temperature is high and the air humidity is also high. Spraying chemicals generally will not cause phytotoxicity, which can effectively prevent the first generation of young fruits and shoots from damaging and greatly reduce the number of pests. The third period is from November to December after citrus harvest. It is also the best time for control. If the control is not effective during the best time, try to spray chemicals after fruit harvest. When the temperature is low in winter, citrus enters dormancy and scale. Insects are also in a relatively static period. Therefore, control should be carried out during this period. Besides, appropriate chemical pesticides shall be selected. Due to the misuse of chemical pesticides, citrus scale insects have a high resistance to pesticides, resulting in a decrease in the effectiveness of some commonly used pesticides. In the past, high toxic pesticides were commonly used to control vector pests, such as O-methoate and thionamide. At present, these pesticides have been banned in production. So some high efficiency and low toxicity insecticides must be selected. Through a video, let's deepen our understanding of citrus scale.
在柑橘生长过程中，介壳虫是不得不防的虫害。柑橘上的介壳虫种类很多，均以刺吸式口器刺吸枝叶造成危害。这些介壳虫有不同的发生规律，因此也加大了防治的难度。以前普遍使用的高毒杀虫剂，不但很难取得良好的防效，而且对环境和施药者的健康都有很大的影响，已被禁用。要防治柑橘介壳虫，抓住重点防治时期，并找对好药是关键。下面让我们先对柑橘介壳虫做一个全面的了解。介壳虫主要种类有始尖介、红蜡介、吹棉介、褐圆介、长白介等。每年4至10月均可能发生危害。防治的难点在于介壳虫每年能发生多代，中后期世代重叠。 而且其大鳞若虫和成虫体表有蜡质保护层，药物很难穿透这层物质，发挥触杀作用。一般来说，第一代介壳虫若虫卵化高峰比较明显，世代整齐，是用药防治的关键时期。以后各代世代重叠比较严重。总结以上各点，防治柑橘介壳虫要抓住2个重点时期：4至5月防治第一代介壳虫爬虫期、卵孵盛期；6至7月防治第2代介壳虫爬虫期、卵孵盛期。低龄幼虫对药剂敏感，而且介壳尚未成型，药剂容易渗透，容易防治。高龄幼虫对药剂敏感度差，蜡质介壳已形成，药剂不易渗透，效果不好。因此应选择在幼介尚在爬行、未进入高龄期之前进行喷药，效果最好。我们果农朋友施药时一定要注意把果树内堂外周喷雾均匀。防治1代介壳虫时，尤其是对树干进行重点喷雾，让药液接触到虫体，起到最佳的杀虫和保护果树的作用，提供更加的持效期。
That's all for today. See you next time.